Hey guys, it's Tahs. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. So I know, again, last video I said it. This one I'm gonna say it again. It's been a minute, but a lot going on. I got surgery coming up Thursday. Super excited. Kind of not, but super excited. So anyway, today we are going to wrap up November finally. We're like halfway through December, and I've yet to wrap up November. And the end of November wasn't really a lot, I guess. But so far in December, I'm doing great with my reading. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I did have a video already put out with the first couple of books that I read in November, so I'll link that down below. But as far as the rest, I read 7 Days in June. I don't remember who wrote it, but I'm going to pop it up right here. This was one of the Reese Witherspoon book club books. I absolutely loved it. It is the two main characters. They met each other and they had 7 days. They pretty much fell in love with each other or whatever. And 15 years later, they're kind of they're reunited and they pretend they don't know each other, but it's kind of obvious. They keep, they're both authors and they both kind of speculate the other person in their book type thing. So it's really cool to watch the gap of years and then just them to come back together is really, I thought it was a really good book. I absolutely loved it. I think I read that one in less than 30 hours. It was super good. And then I read 800 Grapes by Laura Dave. This one right here. This is one of the Reader's Digest books that I picked up from a thrift shop or something. It was 25 cents. And this one was about, I find it was more along the lines of family type stuff. The reason it's called 800 Grapes is because the main character's family, they own a vineyard, and it takes 800 grapes to make a bottle of wine. But they go through some trials and tribulations throughout it, and kind of see who's there for you, who's not. The girl in the book, I can't think of her name. What is her name? Anyway, in the very beginning, she shows up back to her family's place and the town, and she's in her wedding dress. She ran away type thing. And she finally, she goes here to feel at ease and all this stuff. Such a good book. Because at first, I didn't think where it was going. I'm not really feeling that. But I gave it a little bit more time, and I loved it. I loved it. They had you got to learn some about wine and how the grapes are. I'm not sure if it's accurate. Who knows if the author did 100% research. I don't know. But it was a really good book. I like the family dynamic in it. It was a great story. Now, the next book I read was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstein. Morgenstein, that's what it is, Morgenstein. This one, I'm pretty sure you guys heard about what it's about. You know, the circus. This was really good. I like the way it was separated into parts. And just because it's basically two magicians that they each have a student. And there's going to be this big challenge, and it deals with the circus. And just watching it as it goes for however many years until they figure out, the ending of it. But just the two characters that are, dueling each other, or, are supposed to duel. Absolutely love them. Their dynamic was great. But this one I needed an audiobook for because I tried reading it without it, and it was just a little bit much for my brain. But once I turned the audiobook on and I could hear them reading it while I was following along, it was so much easier. So I guess depending on your what's the word I'm looking for? Your ability to pay attention to every detail, I guess. Because sometimes I'm reading but I'm not fully there, And that's kind of how I felt with this. But once I put the audiobook on, great. And then I also read, this one was the part of Believe-a-thon round 2. I picked 3 books for that. I read one, I started one, and I didn't even touch the other one. So the one that I read was 100 Dresses series, If the Magic Fits, by Susan Malpin-Schmidt. And this one is about this little girl who has a very peculiar name. Darling Dimple is her name, and she lives inside of an enchanted castle, and she was born there. Her mother passed away, and someone else basically took on raising her, and she's forced to move jobs in the castle because of the person who raised her is getting shifted to another job or something like that. So she's put there. Before you know it, she climbs the ranks, and she winds up higher up, and she finds this closet, and it has a whole bunch of dresses, and every time she puts a dress on, she turns into a different character. Like I said, there are 100 dresses, and the dresses kind of tell her, like, hey, pick me for this situation. So she gets to live the life of, like, a higher up, or maybe a different person who's cleaning in the castle, like different people. And it was just the cutest little story. I can't wait to read the second and third book that goes along with this. And I really think Abby will enjoy this one, because you never knew what those dresses were going to turn her into until she put them on. Because they weren't labeled in the closet. They were just like lined up from like 1 to 100. And yeah. Super good. And then a book that was not so super good. I think this is probably like one of the worst ones for me. And that is by, I think I'm saying this right, Gilly Macmillan or Gilly Macmillan, I'm not sure. And it's called I Know You Know. This one, I got through the whole thing. I did not DNF it. I should have DNF'd it, but I did not. This one is about a 20-year-old case where this guy's best friends are murdered. And they never, like, they put somebody in jail, but, like, he don't believe that that person did it. The person who was put into jail committed suicide not long ago in jail, and he's trying to, I guess, clear his name, the person in jail's name, and figure out who did it. And it was like this podcast mixed with, which I thought it was really cool. There was a podcast going on in the book, and there was also irregular written words. So you kind of had the different, like in the, because I did audio with this one as well. So you had the cool sound effects and stuff. So that was neat. But the story itself, I really think it could have resolved in like half the pages. Because some of it was just like, what? Huh? We didn't need to know that. So this one, I do not recommend. It's just, I don't know. I just didn't like it. But I want to give her another try, because there are other books that people say are great by her. And I do have 1 or 2 more on my bookshelf by her. So I will try, another one and see. Maybe I just don't click with her stories. I don't know. And then I read Neon Gods by Katie Robert. And this is the story of Hades and Persephone. Really good. Where Hades is, you know, a myth. Nobody knows about Hades. And Zeus is like controlling everything else. And Zeus is trying to marry Persephone. And that's just not going to happen. So she escapes to be with Hades. And Katie Robert did it again. Love her. And then I audiobooked Next Door by Blake Pierce. This one was pretty cool because it was about a set of twins that when they were younger, I'm not sure how old they were. I don't remember the exact age. Their mother was murdered and their father was taken to jail for it right in front of their eyes. as they grew older, one of them decided to go into the FBI. And of course, she's going to try to get to the point where she can figure out who did it, like, kind of prove that her dad wasn't involved, I guess. Like, maybe he didn't look remorseful enough or something. I don't know. So she goes and does that, and she works her way through the ranks. And then her sister, she has her own issues, and she keeps kind of, the main sister, the police, she goes to like a counselor, and she starts bringing up those old memories. And she finally gets to the point where it's clear, where she can just solve the case and stuff. So it was a journey to get there, for her to get to solving the case, but it was a really good listen. I enjoyed the storyline and trying to see which way she would go with it, and just the narrator for that audiobook was great. So yes. And then the last one I read was like a 2-hour audiobook. It was like a really short one. It's called "'Tis the Season to be Kissed" by Amy Andrews. And this one basically all happened in a cabin. This girl got with her best friend or whatever, or her new friend, whatever it is, and she was like, needed a place where she could just clear her head type thing. So she goes up to this cabin, and she has no idea what she's doing. It's cold. She's got all her clothes on, like, for the entire trip at one time. She doesn't know how to light a fire. She doesn't know how to do anything. And she is in the house. Somebody comes in, and they have a key. So she's like, what? So she goes, and she's like, what are you doing here? And it winds up, it is her friend's brother from the military. He came in early, and he was going to surprise his family, but he wanted to sleep at this cabin or whatever, so that he could be refreshed whenever he went to meet, like, be with his family. So things got hot and heavy. She wasn't gonna, but she did. But it was good. It was short. It was spicy. It was kind of everything you wanted with a Christmas read. But technically it wasn't even Christmas, because it was more based on New Year's. Because it was like New Year's Eve type thing. So, yeah. I love that one. I like to find those short ones where you can just kind of listen to it while you're doing this task or something. And that's where that one came into play. Because I was just scrolling through Hoopla, and that's what I found. So, I was excited about it. So that's it for this video. Like I said, I am having surgery on Thursday. Having a hysterectomy. But, I'm going to try to get some other videos filmed tomorrow, which is Wednesday. And try to catch back up. Like, everything is so far behind right now. Like, my whole life is behind right now. It's so ridiculous. The only thing on track is the doctor visits and moving forward to the operation. That's the only thing on track right now. So, and next time you see, well, no, I can't even say that. I was going to say next time you see me, I won't have my gray hairs, because I'm going to get that covered up before surgery. But I might film before I go do that. So I don't know yet. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I probably rambled way too freaking much. But what can I do? I will see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.